cool.
So, okay, I've been following you, and when Steve said that Jordan Jones is coming, because I didn't actually know your name, but I know you're a relentless angler. I've been following you for a long time. It's like, yeah, Jordan Jones is coming on. And so I looked at my phone, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I've been following her for a long time. Yeah. So you do fishing stuff. You're a professional fisherman?
I wouldn't say professional.
Okay. your photos look professional. You look like you're doing some competitions or something.
No, I'm definitely not. I just love it.
Not?
I just love it. I mean, like I've done like teaching and stuff, like Cabela's like years ago would have me come out and teach some of their courses, just like the local ones, or I'll take people out and do stuff kind of like on the down low, I guess, but I'm not like any professional. Like my cast is not pretty, but I can catch fish.
Well, I think that's all that matters.
Yeah.
So you're here at the Hunt Expo, and Chris just mentioned to us you're trying to get into hunting, or what exactly are you trying to accomplish in hunting?
So I have 3 boys. I have a 14-year-old and my twin boys are 5.
Okay.
And like they race dirt bikes, basketball, the things, and all of them fish and everything. But my twins have really wanted to get into hunting. Like they're obsessed with guns. And so I'm like, okay, if they're going to want to hunt, like that means I have to learn how to hunt. Like that's the same with dirt bikes and fishing and everything. Like I had to learn it before I could teach them, right?
Yeah.
And so that's like the drive there. And I'm like, they are just like little diehards outdoors. And, you know, I'm like, that'd be cool to fill my own freezer with meat. So I'm like, as a mom, I'm like, I'm going to Costco like 3 times a week.
Yeah.
I can't feed them enough. But I was like, that's kind of a cool way to do it. And then include them. So that's kind of like the drive behind it. But this year we're going to do a YouTube series. It's kind of just been me on my social medias for the most part. But I started to peek into like, let people see like a little more of like our real life, which is we're very outdoorsy all the time. And it's me and my boys. And I'm like, that's kind of a cool thing to share. I feel like a lot of people are like relate with that.
Yeah.
Especially as a single mom, there's a lot of women that aren't taking their kids out, don't know how to do it. And I think it can be a little bit easier when you see someone else doing it. You're like, oh, I can do that. And if I can help them or bring them along or what it looks like, because it's not always easy, like fishing or whatever with the kids, right? Yeah. Like it's a freaking nightmare trying to
It's a lot.
It's
a lot.
You guys
it's a
know.
lot for
I was
someone,
like, it's a lot. But the hunting thing will be fun. We're going to bring my boys along for most of it. I'll have them here tomorrow at the Hunt Expo.
Cool. I was just going to ask you that.
Yeah, I'm going to bring them for that.
So have you done any hunts with them yet?
No, I haven't done any.
What do you have an idea of maybe the first hunt you want to take them on?
So I have a hunt here in Utah, an elk hunt, but that was just like a cow elk hunt for the first one. And I've already talked to the guys, and I have actually Gunworks going to sponsor the series. We're going to do like a YouTube series. I'm going to go out and do their trainings. That they have like a 4-day training for ballistics. And I'm sure you guys know more about this than I do. I'm still just like getting into the space. But we're going to do the 4-day training, and I'm actually going to open that up for like 10 to 12 people that want to come out and sign up with me and learn. So hoping I can get a bunch of women to do that part because I think it'd be rad.
Well, there's a lot more women. There was a push maybe starting about 10 years ago to get women in the firearm sports. And there is a lot of women doing it. I'm sure you've seen probably around Instagram, there's a lot of women influencers in the firearm space.
Yeah, and it's pretty cool, and a lot. I've only posted a few things with guns so far on my page because I was a little nervous to do that. But the feedback's been awesome. Yeah. So excited to see what happens.
So I would imagine that you get a lot of crossover from fishing to hunting from the people who follow you already.
Yeah.
Because they're kind of like co-existing. People like the outdoors, they like to fish, they like to hunt. So.
That and aviation. So that's what's kind of cool. So like aviation's pulled in. I mean, they're all like people that go to like fly fishing lodges or big hunts, like they're flying helicopters or planes too. And it's kind of like, I found the trifecta. I'm like, this is like, these are the people that are like super rad. Like I went to a party out down at SHOT Show and a bunch of these, owners of these rad companies like Hogue Knives or Gunworks, these guys all fly. And so that's how I was like connecting with them because I'm obsessed with aviation. So it's just rad that everybody's got that similar hobby, I guess.
So I think I've seen you in helicopters. So you're doing helicopters and fixed wing, or are you doing just one?
Well, eventually, yeah, but right now just helicopters.
Just helicopters.
Yeah.
So how close are you to getting your pilot's license?
Well, so I did 45 hours, so I honestly should be done because it only technically takes 40. But I did it slow, and so I'm not done. I'm actually on a pause right now because it feels like it doesn't make sense to finish it until I have my own helicopter. So I'm working my butt off to hopefully be able to afford my own by the end of the year. Fingers crossed. Nice. They're like not cheap.
So what's the future of you as a helicopter pilot? Do you have any aspirations to do anything more, or just kind of like for fun?
Land as many places as I can to fish.
There you go.
Yeah. It's just for fun. I mean, but it's marketing too. Like, it's not like why I would do it, but it could totally be for marketing as well. Like you see people put helicopters in their brand and immediately it's like it levels it up.
Yeah.
So it's kind of rad. But no, it's just because I love it.
So what? Back to the hunting. Do you guys have any firearms yet to go hunting with, or have you picked those out? Like any idea of what you're going to be using?
So that's all new to me again. So I'm totally honest. That's what we're gonna.
Yeah,
I was talking to
awesome.
Aaron who owns Gunworks. I was telling him, I'm like, full transparency. Like this is not a space I know. Fly fishing, like a little bit of aviation. I have some knowledge, and I'm like, this is new for me.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to work with me, like I hope you're okay with that.
Starting from scratch.
He's like, I actually think that's really cool because we'll be able to share the story of that, and like me as a mom, and then with my boys, and what it looks like getting into hunting. Which honestly, I would watch that because I want to know what it looks like, and what do I need to do, and how do I learn, and where do I start, and so.
Well, I think people are very welcome, especially businesses like ours and Aaron's, welcoming new people into the industry. We want more people coming into the industry. We know the value of hunting and the value of shooting and firearms and the Second Amendment. We just want to be able to pass that knowledge and information on to other people. So it's like there's no like I don't know anybody that'd be like, no, we don't want to work with you or anything because you don't know enough. Yeah. I think it's more of like we're excited that you're excited to be new and in this industry. I think people are probably be willing to help.
Yeah. Well, tell me more about your guys' product too. Like I was just asking Chris, about it. I'm like, tell me a little more about like what you guys do and your history.
So Grayboe, we make composite rifle stocks.
Okay.
Ryan's grandfather actually invented the fiberglass stock.
Okay.
1973.
1973,
73, and then kind of started McMillan fiberglass stocks, and then Ryan's dad ran it, and then after his military career, he started Grayboe. 2014.
2014, we started Grayboe, and then we just had an idea. When I spent time at McMillan, every stock was like a custom stock, and if you know anything about rifles, the barrels are different, actions are different. There's so many unique parts about a rifle, and to make a stock for a rifle, you have basically every single stock is unique and different, and that's hard when you're in manufacturing.
Right.
So my vision with Grayboe was to simplify the whole process. And so it's taken time. So that's on the manufacturing side, that's on the customer facing side, it's everywhere.
Right.
So we've been really working hard at that for 10 years. And in the next couple of months, we're coming out with a product that all you'll need to know is two things: your caliber and the action that you have.
Okay.
In the past, in the old McMillan days, I mean, there would be a list of things that you'd have to know, and then you have to kind of search and measure things. And it was a nightmare for a customer and for the manufacturer. But our goal has been to just simplify, and we're there. So super excited about that.
I love it. That's rad.
I think our new products are going to be really good for retailers because you know anything about the retail space, it's all about like how much space are you taking up for the dollar amount that they're going to make.
Yeah.
And so rifle stocks are pretty big. And so if you have all these different rifle stocks and all these different SKUs that you have to offer, it becomes overwhelming for the retailer like Bass Pro, let's say, for one, to try to sell it because it's complex, but two, you got a lot of inventory on your floor. So I think we're going to be changing that beyond any other stock maker there has been. So we're excited about that. So that's
awesome.
That's a little bit of an overview.
I can tell you get like all excited about it as you're talking about it.
I'm like,
yeah, you got it, right?
Yeah,
it's your product.
It's all the work, for since 2014 to get to this point. And it's been great. It's been a great ride, but like now we're finally getting to that point where it's like this is going to change things not only for us but for everybody.
It's all come together over, and even before 2014, when I was at McMillan, I had this vision, or I saw this, how complex it was. So even back before that, I knew that there was something that needed to be done or could be done in the space. That would really help people. And obviously, the more you dig into it, the more you realize things you didn't even realize back then, like how important it would be for the customer. For me, I was thinking originally, like I could make the manufacturing process simpler, bring the cost of the stocks down. But I didn't really fully understand how from the customer facing standpoint, how simple it was to actually order a stock, or how simple it could be, how that would come into effect. So there's more to the product than I ever anticipated. So it's really exciting. And we're like, after 10 years of hard work, we're kind of here launching our first product with the most simple stock you'll ever be able to buy as far as ordering process here in March or April. So
that's awesome.
Exciting, yeah.
So I have a question for you guys. If this is like, obviously this was like family business, you grew up doing this, and all your guys' experience, does it ruin the like love for hunt or shooting when this is your like job? I always wonder that with people when they run something that they were originally so passionate about.
That's a good question, because the answer is a little bit of yes and a little bit of no. So the way I'll describe that is we're around guns every single day. We have guns everywhere, stock. So this passion to go out and let me put it this way. Let me back up. If I wasn't in this industry, I would be hunting a lot more. That's what I would tell you.
Well, you're building business, right?
Yeah.
You're a little busier.
Yeah, for me, like I love to go out and shoot. Like when we film content, it's like, dude, let's go to the range, let's go shoot, let's test this new product, because that's like almost the only time we get to shoot.
Yeah.
So it's like you're so busy getting all this work done for these products, and you want to go test it out and you want to go shoot it, and it's like you just don't have as much time to go hunt and actually shoot. But it's definitely not I still love to get out, and shoot and hunt, but it's just a matter of the
like
time
that
now.
That shooting at the range is not as exciting. No. Hunting is still exciting because you only do that once or twice a year, a couple times a year at most. But it's that going out to the range and just plinking that's just not quite as exciting as it used to be, because you're just around it every single day, all day, talking to people about guns all day. So
well, I feel like it's you either have one or the other. It like ruins it for you, or it's like work and play are synonymous, right? So just curious how you felt with that.
But we do. I mean, we still make an effort and to go hunt. We still know how important it is for us to do that. We both have kids. We take do our best to take them and to raise them in that kind of environment. I think personally, it's so good for boys. It's such a big responsibility builder. They're going to experience things they'll never, ever be able to experience ever in their life. The fact of killing an animal is such an emotional, and carries so much responsibility that you could never teach that in any other way. And the fact that you have to be responsible, like you just took this animal's life. Now what? Like you have to be responsible for this animal. You've got to get all the meat. You've got to make the most of every bit of this animal, to respect that animal and to make sure that you're not doing something that's going to diminish or tarnish, the hunting industry or just your your morals. So I think it's so good for young men and women too, but especially young men. It also it gives them the sense of providing, this is kind of our primal sense of providing in our current modern way of doing things as men. Like we go to work and we make money and that's how we provide. But if you go back to the roots of who we are as humans, like this is how we've always done it. We go out and we hunt for our meat, and that's how we actually provide for our families. So
I love you say that, because that's a big reason for me, like with boys raising them, I'm like, I want them to feel that and to be able to fill those like needs and those that just who they are, which is naturally as a provider. Yeah. I don't know, as a mama, I'm like, I think that's super important. So I love that you say that. Actually, I'm going to think about that as I move into these, like, I didn't look at it that way. Yeah. That's really rad.
Don't be surprised if when your boys take their first animal that they cry.
I think I would cry.
Yeah.
I'm like, I already know I'm going to cry. Like there is a part of me that's like, that's hard, but like, it's also a skill to be able to do that. Like, I want to know that. Like, what if stuff hits the fan? I want to know how to do that.
Yeah, and the bond, too, that you build, taking your boys out, teaching them this responsibility and how to ethically take it, because there's some, just because you can take a shot at 1,000 yards and your rifle's capable of it doesn't mean that you should. So it's also the ethical portion of like, hey, you don't want to wound this thing and have it run off and survive for days while you can't find it. It's the ethical portion of it, and to go out with your boys and teach them that the responsibility and just the bonding of hey, we're going to find this animal together and we're going to clean this thing and, field dress it together. And it's just like that. Like Ryan was saying, it's hard to build that bond, with my son. He played baseball. I helped coach his teams. So that was great, but like this is just that extra, like, because this is food. This is we're gonna eat this. This isn't just as, hey, let's go out and throw a baseball. This is something that's gonna be with you forever. Yeah. So
I love that. That's a really cool way to put it.
Yeah, the taking of that life carries so much responsibility that I just don't think you can get that anywhere else. As a young man, it's so important to go through that experience, I think. So.
Yeah.
And you said, so your twins are into hunting, your older one not so much?
I don't think he's going to love it as much. No, he's rowdy. He loves basketball, plays for like the high school team. And as a freshman, he's awesome with that. But that's more his jam. The twinners are a little bit more like wild little dudes and race dirt bikes. But they all fish. My oldest does a ton of fishing with me. I got my first bow this week too, so I'm like just pumped to start.
That's very cool.
I'll probably just have fun doing that, and I think my boys will all enjoy that. But as far as the hunting goes, I think that'll be mostly my twin boys.
Now, do you live like in the city, or are you out where you can kind of be a little bit more free?
A little more free. Nice. Which I love. I'm like close enough to the city, but people are always like, "You live in BFE." I'm like, "Yes," and I love it. I can see the stars, and like we can ride dirt bikes and do whatever we want out there. We've landed the helicopters in my backyard. And...
Are you here in Utah?
Yeah, I am. So it's
this
perfect.
Is the place to be if you want to hunt and fish, right?
Yeah, don't tell people that.
I know,
don't
right?
Put that out there.
Actually,
yeah. We don't want to live here. It's terrible.
It's freezing cold. It was like 12 degrees the other day, so don't come here.
Yeah, it's terrible. The fishing spots are all getting blown out.
Yeah, go to California. The hunting and fishing in California is insane. Go there.
You'll love paying the tax.
You will love
me.
Great gun rights there too.
Yeah,
stellar.
Right. Oh, big, huge gun people out there. Yeah. Everybody. I think Gavin Newsom hunts all the time.
He loves hunting.
He loves hunting. Yeah. Everybody will align with his. Yeah, it'd be perfect. Go to California.
That's so true. Yeah. That's funny. I love it. Cool. Yeah. Well, you guys been doing a ton of these podcasts.
Yeah. Well, yesterday was the first day of the show. We started in the afternoon because we wanted to make sure we were prepared. But yeah, we pretty much booked all day today. We've got other responsibilities too. So with Grayboe, as it usually gets busier as the evening goes along or the day goes along. So we try to be done with the podcasts around 2:33, so we can help in the busiest times with the Grayboe stuff. So, but yeah, we're excited. Like this is our first year. I walked it last year to make sure we wanted to actually have a booth, but this is our first year with the booth.
Yeah. And
this place is insane. So even last year, I feel like the booths weren't like this year. Everybody stepped up their booth space. Like it's nicer.
Way better.
Not that it was bad last year. It wasn't at all. It was nice, but every booth is bigger and better this year.
I walked in here. I was pretty impressed with that. I was like, it looks great.
Yeah.
It's hard to get a booth, and because there's only limited space. So like luckily there was somebody that we knew. We're like, hey, dude, can you hook us up? He's like, yeah. So we got lucky because I know there's a lot of other companies who've tried to get in here and they haven't been able to. So. We've got this like 10 by 20. It's not big enough. Next year, we've already applied for a 20 by 20. But hey, just getting in the door.
Awesome. And you buy the food.
You're right. I know.
We saw the spot. And we're kind of like, we're like, this is actually a pretty solid spot.
People will be in line. They'll have to be there by the booth.
This barbecue spot gets popping.
Oh, I know. The line goes, I'm surprised there's a line. Well, has it opened yet?
Just opened. I think
there was a line yesterday. All the way back there all day, and what I love is these duck calls and the moose calls. Like they really can hear yourself think.
Well, that's how we've been.
Sarcasm?
Yes, a little bit of sarcasm.
That's how we've been telling the time. We're like, wait for it. Oh, it's 10:15. Elk call. It's 10:15.
Yeah, I know. So yeah, all day, just nothing but duck calls and elk calls, and
I'm waiting for that to become my new reality. I'm like, I know the second my boys come tomorrow, they're gonna be like, yeah, I got these, and I'm like, never ending.
Yeah.
Move towards the noise.
That's a skill in and of itself too. You can get a call and just kind of blow into it and make some noise, but like to get really good. I heard a guy the other day, and I'm like, that's an elk. It's just the end of this call. I'm like, that guy's all right. He put some time into this. He's good.
Yeah,
that's cool.
So
I love it. That's amazing.
Yep. Awesome. Well, what's next for you? Where you headed to next?
Like today.
Yeah. What booths do you want to? What
booths? Meetings.
You just kind of
I've got some meetings. For years I didn't really do anything with like brands and stuff. I just felt like I was raising babies. Like I was like I don't have time to shoot content. And I can't give that to you reliably. But now my boys are a little older. I'm like, okay, we'll do that, and they want to be a part of this. So we're gonna give it a shot. We'll just see what happens. I'm not really like worried about it, and. So I run a social media like marketing agency, and I don't really post anything about that, but that's like my business. But this is more so like for fun. And so if brands want to come on and like work with us in this, I got to go figure out like camo and all the things. I don't know. I'm learning. So if you guys have any tips or like what things that I need to like look at or directions to take things,
we'll definitely stay in touch. So. I mean, we're I follow you on Instagram. So, but if we want to, swap numbers or whatever. So if there's any way we can work together in the future, we'd be happy to do that.
Yeah.
We're always looking to do more marketing and get out there and to try to just reach as many people as we can. I think business a lot, especially nowadays, is about, just trying to drive your brand and your who you are to people.
A lot more authentic.
Anyone we can work with to push that forward. And if there's some synergy between the brands, we're happy to do it. And happy just to, if we know some people
Cool.
turn you on to them. And
well, more than anything, I think you guys have done this and you raise your boys doing this. So if you guys have tips and stuff that way, like help.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, you're in a good spot. I know it's got to be tough, being a single mom. But you're doing so far, you're taking them fishing, taking them hunting. You're definitely on the right track there, getting them out in the outdoors. And that's great. Yeah.
Thanks for having me. It's
absolutely.
fun stuff.
Absolutely.
So
Thanks for being here.
Yeah.